Good morning. Welcome to the Ahiah Center for Spiritual Living Meditation before service. So happy to be here with you, and so thank you for joining me. Let's turn within. Recognizing that there is one power, infinite, incredible, everywhere present, in and through and as all of its creation. So that includes each and every one of us. I'm so grateful for this truth. And I declare that this time together this morning, we deepen our awareness of that connection. For we cannot deepen the connection because it already is. However, we can deepen our awareness of it. So I claim this is a time of peace, a time of love, a time of going within. And with gratitude, I let it be so. So sit comfortably. If you can put your feet flat on the ground, that tells your nervous system it's time to relax and that all is well. There's a simple breathing technique that I'd like to teach you this morning. It's called the straw breath. Remember when you were little and you blew bubbles with your straw and your chocolate milk or your soda? That's what it's like. You breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth like you're blowing in the straw. Do that a few times. It helps relax the nervous system. It helps lower blood pressure. It's a very simple technique, and it's a good one to know. So I invite you to use it in this morning's meditation. So as I say these affirmations, repeat them out loud, the I am part. So God is light. I am light. We can all say that together. I am light. God is life. I am life. God is peace. I am peace. God is joy. I am joy. God is love. I am love. God is beautiful. I am beautiful. God is powerful. I am powerful. All of these things that God is, I am too. So breathe that in and let it sit with you, for it is the truth. Choose one. Choose one for this day for you. I am life. I am light. I am peace. I am joy. I am love. I am beautiful. I am powerful. Choose one and let it be yours for this time and for always. And if you catch yourself thinking, just say, oh, thinking. It's just your mind doing its job. Just say thinking. And let it be, gently, sweetly, loving yourself. I am love. God is powerful. I am powerful. God is life. I am life. God is light. I am light. God is joy. I am joy. God is peace. I am peace. God is love. I am love. God is beautiful. I am beautiful. God is powerful. I am powerful. All of these things God is, I am. All of these things God is, I am. And that is the truth of each and every one. So gently now bring yourself back to your room wherever you are. Just continuing to breathe deeply and let yourself know this is the truth of your being. Our Sunday morning service will be starting in a few minutes. We're happy you're here with us. Welcome so much. Blessed be.
Good morning, Ahiah. It's so good to be here with you this morning. My name is Reverend Scott Olson. I'm the senior minister here at Ahiah Center for Spiritual Living, and it's truly my pleasure to be here with you today. We have great news if you've not heard. If you didn't hear last week, we've decided we're going to be opening Ahiah back up starting next week, Mother's Day. And so you can go to ahiah.com/register. In there, it's got a PDF that has all the information about what we're doing to keep people safe, and it has a place for you to click to register also. And we would appreciate the people who show up do register. It'll just help us to know how many people are showing up so we can plan a little bit. For those who don't register, we're going to be saving the sanctuary for the people who register first. So happy to have you here. We're going to have a great day today. I just want to say hi and thank you and acknowledge a few of the people that are here that are making this service today be such a wonderful time, a God-filled time together. And so I want to start off with our music team. We have Tina Meeks here today, and she'll be singing for us. And then our band, we've got Chris and Leon and Brian today. Let's give them a hand. For our practitioner, you've already seen, if you tuned into the morning meditation, you've already seen the wonderful Kelly Metcalf, and she'll also be doing a reading and invocation for us later. We also are giving Reverend Mike a Sunday off, so we have a treat today. We have Patricia Roach, another one of our practitioner emeritus, are going to be here doing a power talk with me today. So we've got that all covered. And then I want to say thank you to a couple of people who are behind the scenes that you never see on camera, but this would not go well without them. So we have Gloria on sound. Thank you, Gloria. And we have Harris back in the back, just kind of clicking the keys, making sure everything on the video screen shows up right. So that's our setup for this morning. We got a great time planned for you. I just want you to get comfortable in your seats right now and maybe take in a deep breath and just let it all go as you settle in and we watch the meditation video.
You've got a friend in me. pas ce que ton vieux pote disait. Oui, je suis ton ami. Je suis ton ami. Hay un amigo en mí. Hay un amigo en mí. Y cuando sufras, aquí me tendrás. No dejaré de estar contigo, ya verás. Egal was passiert, verlass dich auf mich, denn du hast einen Freund in mir. Du hast einen Freund in mir.有些人比我能干，比我强，身体健壮，走起路雄赳赳。난 나처럼 널 아끼는 친구 또 없을걸. And as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You've got a friend in me. Je suis ton ami. Hay un amigo en mí. Du hast einen Freund in me. 我是你好朋友，难道已见过呀？
Oh, so now I'd like to ask Kelly Metcalf to come on up, and she's going to do our invocation and reading.
Good morning. Join me now in prayer. Let's turn within together. There is only one power, one presence, one infinite intelligence, with the almighty creative life principle that is the one that manifests everything. Everything we see and everything we don't see. It's all spirit expressing. This spirit is love, it is constant, it is dependable, it is always everywhere present. So that means it is right here within me and within everyone within the sound of my voice. Whether they are here at Ahiah with me or whether they're in the comfort of their own homes or their cars, wherever, spirit is right there. So I embrace this truth and I invite that for each and every one of us. I claim for us that we are open-hearted and open-minded so that spirit can have its way with us, so that spirit can flow through us out into the world as a loving, peaceful, creative presence, that our imagination serves us for the greater good of all and for the harm of none, that we see clearly a world that works for everyone, and every smile and every act of kindness helps create that as a reality, and it ripples out and touches people in ways we will never know. So I bless this service. I bless Reverend Scott and Patricia as they give us their talks. I bless the musicians and Harris and Gloria for their technical support. And I know that life is good here, and life is good for all of us. And for that, I'm ever so grateful. And knowing that the power of the word, it does indeed work, I release this, my word, to that law that acts on it and makes it absolutely the truth. And together we can all say, and so it is, Amen and Amen. I have a couple readings for you this morning because I couldn't choose. And they come from my very loved and beat up Living the Science of Mind. And the first one is on page 56, What the Mystics Have Taught. To begin with, the mystics have taught a perennial philosophy, which means that the deep spiritual thinkers of every age have arrived at certain conclusions independently of each other, and we may be certain that in the main their conclusions were correct. The great spiritual seers of the ages have taught that people are on the pathway of an eternal evolution, the purpose of which is to produce in individual everything that is inherent in the nature of the divine. To feel back to this fundamental unity, to commune with it, to experience the beneficence of its presence, recognized and understood, is what is meant by mysticism. It would be impossible in the space of our disposal to use exhaustive quotations from the mystics, but you will find a thread of continuity running through them all. You will discover that they all arrived at approximately the same conclusions. It is worthy of note that throughout all their teachings, evil as a thing in itself disappears and becomes lack of the knowledge of truth. The theological concept of hell, the morbid teachings of the afterlife, are missing from all the teachings of the inspired, because they knew that we all are in the process of evolution, and that finally everyone will arrive at the same place, for God is incarnated in all. It is necessary for a student of the science of mind to understand this, for while we are often surrounded by negative conditions which most certainly seem evil, evil is never a thing in itself. Therefore, the mystics have taught that good finally must triumph over evil, even though it appears as though there were a struggle between the powers of light and darkness. In the Bibles of the world and many other sources, one persistent purpose, teaching, and conclusion runs through them all. The universe is a spiritual system, and we are some part of it. God is right where we are and is discovered at the center of our own being. Turning from everything that denies this and quietly contemplating the perfection of the inner man, or the inner person, who is incarnation of God, we must meet the great reality in the only place we ever shall discover it, within our own hearts and souls and minds. It's good for us to contemplate. It's all the same everywhere. Isn't that wonderful? The other reading, at the very last page, and this reading I recommend for you before you go to sleep at night. It's easy to find. You just have to open the cover, and here it is. I know there is a power for good, which is responding to me and bringing into my experience everything that is necessary to my unfoldment, to my happiness, to my peace, to my health, and to my success. I know there is a power for good that enables me to help others and to bless the whole world. So I say quietly to myself, there is one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. It is flowing through me, circulating in me. I am one with its rhythm. My heart beats with the pulsation of the universe, in serenity, in peace, and in joy. My whole physical being is animated by the divine spirit, and if there is anything in it that does not belong, it is cast out, because there is one perfect life in me now. And I say to myself, I am daily guided so that I shall know what to do under every circumstance, in every situation. Divine intelligence guides me in love, in joy, and in complete self-expression. Desiring that the law of good alone shall control me, I bless and prosper everything I am doing. I multiply every activity. I accept and expect happiness and complete success. Realizing that I am one with all people, I affirm that there is a silent power flowing through me and them, which blesses and heals and prospers, makes happy and glad their pathway. And realizing that the world is made up of people like myself, I bless the world and affirm that it shall come under the divine government of good, under the divine providence of love, and under the divine leadership of the supreme intelligence. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Blessings.
Amen. So that's wonderful. Thank you, Kelly. And so I'd like to ask Tina Meeks to come on up.
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry it took me so long to get up here. Ready. Am I ready? Thank you. Okay, I'm in the right spot now. Yay! Good to see you, everybody. Always good to be back at Ahiah, and we're going to sing a song that I think you'll enjoy. I hope so. It brings some memories back. Okay. You think you own whatever land you land on. The earth is just a dead thing you can claim. But I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. You think the only people who are people are people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew, Have you ever heard the wolf cry from the blue corn moon? Or asked the grinning bobcat why he grinned? Can you sing with all the colors of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Come run the hidden pine trails of the forest. Come taste the sun-sweet berries of the earth. Come roll in all the riches all around you. And for once, never wonder what they're worth. The river and the Ransons are my brothers. The rainstorm and the heron are my friends. And we are all connected to each other in a circle, in a hoop that never ends. Oh, have you ever heard the wolf cry from the blue corn moon? Or ask the grinning bobcat why he grinned? Can you sing with all the colors of the mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind? Well, how high does the sycamore grow? If you cut it down, then you'll never know. And to the blue corn moon, or whether you are white or copper skinned, you have to sing with all the voices of the mountain. You have to paint with all the colors of the wind. You can own the earth and still all you own is earth until you can paint with all the colors of the wind.
Yes, yes, yes. I love having Tina here. She's here every first Sunday of the month. And you know, it's even a little more special when you're here and you get to see her in person. So I'm looking forward for you guys. I already get it. You know, I'm looking forward for you guys to be able to come back to Ahiah and watch the fabulous Tina all by yourself. So we're starting in May. Can you believe it? We're already in May. Second of May already. Mother's Day's coming up. And, you know, that means we have a new theme for May. And the theme for May is Holy, Holy Uprising. When I first looked at that, I went, holy, holy cow, Batman, what the heck does that mean? But, you know, it's a holy, holy. And we know the meaning of uprising, don't we? I mean, we've been living uprising lately. You know, lately it just seems like we've got a lot of reasons for uprising. We've had George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, just to name a few. And then also in January, we had the Capitol uprising. And so there's uprising in the air, but that's not the uprising I'm talking about, because the uprising I'm talking about, this holy, holy uprising that I'm talking about, is inside. It's the soul's uprising. It's more like the rising of bread, you know, where it's an internal process, all those little yeasts putting out a little bit of carbon dioxide to make bubbles, you know. It's more that internal process of us expanding like bread rises. That's what I'm talking about. So I wanted to tell you just one of the parts of the global vision. I put it into the newsletter, but it goes like this. We see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with his/her highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other. A world in which individuality and collectively, there we go, we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. A higher state of consciousness and action. And I think that's absolutely true. When we reach a higher state of consciousness, we're up higher. We've got a higher view. We see what's going on around us. There's no sweeping things under the rug anymore. There's no allowing things to just be in the light, because we become the light. We become the light that shines on all of this that's going on around us, to bring the love and the peace and the joy that God is. Because when we shine the light on the dark just melts away. And there is a state of consciousness and action. There's also an uprising in our actions. We see what needs to be done, and we go ahead and take those steps. I think that we are all kind of seeing a lot that we can do today, tomorrow, the day after. They're not huge steps oftentimes. Spirit just guides us along on baby steps. That's my experience of Spirit. It doesn't ask more of me than I can actually do in one moment. It's when I start projecting out into the future that it seems like it's so big. But when I just follow that still small voice inside me, I'm always just guided one little step at a time. So now I think is a perfect time to ask Patricia to come on up, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her own Holy Uprising. It's just
now. Yes.
There we go.
There it is. Okay. Well, good morning, Ahiah. It's my pleasure to be here and share a little bit of my thoughts as far as Holy, W-H-O-L-L-Y, Holy, H-O-L-Y, Uprising. I feel that it's really my honor, and after listening to Reverend Scott, he really did it for me, but I'll share some of my thoughts anyway. So the theme, as he said, is Holy, Holy Uprising. And our topic for today is called This Adventure Called Life. In my terms, I say life is an adventure. So Holy, Holy Uprising for me represents the rising up of our sacred wholeness. Each one of us is a divine and sacred being. How many of us really recognize that divinity, that sacredness of ourselves? How do we treat ourselves? How do we talk to ourselves? Are we recognizing that we are divine, perfect, sacred beings? It starts with each one of us loving ourselves. For me, Holy, Holy Uprising is truly representative of our times, as Reverend Scott had said. All we need to do is look at the world around us, not just in the United States, but globally. The protests against hatred and racism, a demand for equality and unity, all the secrets and skeletons coming out the closet being revealed, so much coming forth, being revealed for a healing that we are here to take place in and to help. You might ask, why now? Well, now is the time of cleansing for the transformation of humanity, knowing that you, H-U, is another name for God, man meaning men, women, and children. So God, man, God, woman, God, children. For the wholeness and sacredness of humans, collectively, to reveal their divinity. The sacred wholeness rising up is for humanity to recognize the very essence of God's Spirit within. It is the transformation of moving humanity into oneness, into the truth of our being, a oneness of love, of peace, of joy, of wholeness, and so much more. It's recognizing that God's Spirit within, and as in Kelly's meditation this morning, God is love, I am love, you are love. And it goes for peace and joy and harmony and balance and order and all of the wonderful things that God is. We are too, for the nature of God is our nature. It is time for each one of us to recognize who and what we are and stand in that truth that we are all love, united, interconnected, one. It is time for humanity to grow and expand in this oneness, with each one of us standing in that truth and that love, one person at a time. For as each person stands in truth, the consciousness of the world grows and expands in that same truth. It is consciousness. And we can do this seeing life as an adventure and bring forth fun and joy and laughter, using our humor and just daily living to have a life that we love, that we want. This is the adventure called life. We believe in Science of Mind that God is all there is. Therefore, God is life. What kind of life are we creating for ourselves? I see life as an adventure because each day we step into the unknown. Even planning does not mean things will go the way we planned. We must trust taking one step at a time, those baby steps, as Reverend Scott mentioned, into the unknown. An adventure is defined as an unusual and exciting, typically hazardous, experience or activity. And also it is to engage in hazardous and exciting activities, especially of unknown territory. Is life an unknown territory? I think it is. A baby is birthed into a world and the journey begins, learning and growing through experience and activities. Each day we awake to new adventures, and it is up to us to create a life that we love, that we want, one that is filled with peace, joy, and love, and one that brings us that love into our lives by sharing the same love and letting our light shine bright, keeping our thoughts on those positive things we want, that we desire. Babies and our animal friends give love unconditionally. We must learn to give that same unconditional love to ourselves. It may not be an easy task because we're so programmed into the negative and beating ourselves up, but it's thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. So it's up to us to take time and be mindful of our thoughts. We create our lives through those thoughts, choices, and actions. Being mindful of your thoughts and actions and paying attention to how you respond to your experiences can change your life. Remember, you are creating with your thoughts, and what you give your attention to, you create. So it's time for us all to create a world of love, of health, of prosperity. You can do this each day because each day is a new beginning. The adventure of life begins with you. Each day we awake is an opportunity for a new adventure. What kind of life are your adventures creating for you? Be mindful of your thoughts, your choices, and your actions, and what you are giving your attention to. Positive interactions or negative interactions. It's all up to you. David R. Hawkins in The Power versus Force states, in this interconnected universe, every improvement we make in our private world improves the world at large for everyone. Simple kindness to oneself and all that lives is the most powerful transformational force of all. Be that transformational force and enjoy your journey in this thing, this adventure we call life. Thank you so much, and namaste.
Hey. Thank you, Patricia. I never knew human was derived that way. That's a new word for new knowing for me. So So as Patricia said, the theme for today, the talk title for today is This Adventure Called Life. And I do agree that life is an adventure, right? Isn't it? But there's a lot of things. If you go look up on the internet, you'll find that life is a lot of things, right? I just typed in life is and saw some of the things. And according to the internet, life is a song, life is a journey, life is a game. There's that song, Life is a Highway, you know. So we've got life is a lot of different things. But how do we make it an adventure? How do we make sure that our life is an adventure? Because to be quite honest, I want an adventure. I want to be going out into new territory, as Patricia stated. You know, that's the life I want. I get bored too easy for a regular life. So how is it that we make our life an adventure? Well, on your screen, Ernest Holmes says, he's the founder of our philosophy. He says, in the midst of plenty, humanity lives in want because of fear. To overcome fear is the greatest adventure of the mind of man, the greatest adventure of the mind of man. But we have to overcome the fear. And when we do, adventures abound. I want to tell you a couple of different stories from my life. And, you know, we'll talk about, are they adventures, are they not? The first one, well, both of them actually are, they come from this place that I used to be in called a scuba club. And I used to go scuba diving all the time, both, you know, locally at the beaches, out at Catalina and the Channel Islands on a boat. And I also used to take vacations with the scuba club. And the second one that I took was to Indonesia. And it was a big group. It was about 25, 30 people, somewhere in there. And we just got on the plane and we went all the way to Bali was our first stop. And we spent a week in Bali, and I loved Denpasar, and I loved, you know, we did this, we did a wreck dive of the USS Liberty. It's a beach dive, and you go out, and it starts at 40 feet, and it goes down to about 110, and you choose how far down you want to go. But, you know, it was fun. There's so much coral on that ship now after 50 years. And then we went river rafting. We went to the center of the island. We did river rafting, and we took along one guy. His name was Rick, and he was 6'4" and weighed somewhere between 250 and 300 pounds, and he was just a big guy. And he sat on the back corner of that river raft, and when we went down the first set of rapids, he was a little too weighty in that corner. We got stuck. And all the guide knew what to do was say, "This has never happened before." And when he got out of the raft to help Rick get out, because we weren't going anywhere with Rick in there. Once Rick came out, we went shooting down the rapids without a guide. But we were all okay. Nobody was hurt. We managed to hang on to some, you know, vines along the river there, you know, so we didn't go sweeping all the way down. And it was fine. It was fun. And then we, in Bali, I don't know if you've ever been to many places of the world, bartering is the normal, right? So everybody gives you a special price just for you, right? Just for you. So we had a great time, and then we went on to Sulawesi. Half of our group went on to Sulawesi, which is another one of the islands, and we got to gather for a show with some drummers. A whole group of the local men came, and they had logs, and they would just pound it in one rhythm, each one their own rhythm, but all the rhythms were different. And the way that sound interlaced over time was beautiful and mystical. And then there was the boat trip out to an island where when we came back, there was dolphins riding the bow of the ship. And we had this heavy rain for a little bit, but it was a sun shower. You know how the rain is right over your head and it's dumping water on you. but the sun was down low, so it was beyond the clouds, so it was bright sunny day and the rain was out. And so that's one of these adventures. And I wrote, a 3-page thing to send out to the people who went along with me. And I read that this morning, and it made me laugh. And I recognize absolutely that all of that, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything that happened, it felt like an adventure. We were just going along. Now, I had another dive vacation a few years later. It was a much smaller group, just a few of us, and the plan was to go to St. Martin, and we were going to rent a sailboat, and that way we could just take our tanks and we could dive wherever we wanted, didn't have to buy tickets, didn't have to do any of that stuff. And so it was a great plan. Now, we took advantage of September, right, which is the high hurricane season in the Caribbean. But, you usually have noticed that a hurricane is coming, and so we bought trip insurance, and we felt perfectly good. We had planned this out perfectly. Well, the morning that we were leaving to go to St. Martin, the weather forecast was for Hurricane Luis to just broadside St. Martin, just run right over the top of it. And we thought, well, okay, a trip, we won't go. We'll get the insurance. We called the insurance that morning, and they said, oh, no, you haven't seen the new, weather forecast. It's going to Florida. So we turned the news back on. It's a little bit before the internet. It was in the, at least where you could get everything on the internet. It was in the mid-90s, I think. And and it says, yeah, sure enough, going to Florida. So we get on the plane, we fly all the way to St. Martin. We get off the plane. The first thing we hear is the governor's speech saying to secure your zinc, which we were like, what the heck is zinc? Well, it ends up that it's the corrugated sheet metal. And you can imagine if you've got this big sheet of metal coming at you with a razor sharp edge, it could do a little bit of damage. So, secure your zinc. And the airport was absolutely packed. All those American tourists on the island were at the airport already, looking to get off because Hurricane Luis was coming to St. Martin again. And so, we didn't have a reservation for a hotel, so the best we could do is go to the boat. We went to the boat, and they said, tomorrow is going to be a beautiful day. Take out the boat tomorrow. The insurance will pay for it. And so we did, and we had a great, wonderful day. Went diving. We went to some beaches. We went all over the place for one day. We came back the next morning, turned in the boat. The clouds were already starting to gather. And I asked the man at the desk, of the boat company, I said, where should we stay? And he said, well, he gave me the name of this hotel that was a couple blocks away, and he said, oh, it survived Hugo, a few years ago. It'll be fine. And I go over to this hotel, and I swear to God, the strip of land that it is on is maybe the length of this sanctuary. There was enough room for the road, the hotel, and a tiny little beach. And I'm like, I am not staying, because on both sides, it was just a spit of land. Both sides was water, was ocean. One side was the harbor, the other side was the real ocean. I'm like, I am not staying there. So we looked around, and I knew which way the winds were going to blow, and there was a hill there in Margot, and so we looked for a hotel that would be in the lee of the hill, and we found one, and we stayed there. And it was a beautiful hotel, and they were very accommodating. They were very sweet, very nice, and it was perfectly safe. We stayed in the middle of the middle aisle that ran between the rooms was in the smack dab center of the hotel. And I did go out, and I peeked out a window one time to see flying coconuts going 100 miles an hour down the road. And I'm like, I don't want to be out there. I'm going to go back to my safety, in the aisle. And we just waited it out. Nothing happened. We had food. We had gone and gotten food. We had water. We had everything. We had shelter. And I picked the only hotel in that part of the city that kept its roof. And so the French army showed up the next day. They plugged in their generators, and we had air conditioning, food, water, a view. Now, it was a bit of a mess around us. That's absolutely true. And many people, including my dear mother, who was very upset with me, would call this a disaster. I had just made a disaster film. But the truth is that experience also, it was an adventure. I was never bored, that's for sure. And, Deepak Chopra, he says, every day our actions exist on the cutting edge of evolution, the frontier where the mind is caught between caution and curiosity. And as I think back over both of those vacations, I think, and this is kind of true, isn't it, for when you go on vacation? You're taken out of your realm, you're put into a new realm, and you're curious about what's coming next. You're curious, and I don't know about you, but I just love walking around places I've never been, going wherever my feet take me. And so every time I go on vacation, it's an adventure. Every time. Even the disaster film was an adventure. Perfectly safe, mostly happy. So, what I want to recognize in all of this is that Raymond Charles Barker says, you are the present becoming the future. You are the present becoming the future. And so as I stand here in my present state, I am wherever I am. And maybe a hurricane is there with you right now. Maybe in this moment your life is got winds of 100 miles an hour. Maybe there are flying coconuts going past you. Have you secured your zinc yet? I don't know. Everybody's life is different. But what I do know is that I can become curious. I can be where I am, even in the middle of a storm, and I can be curious of where is Spirit leading me? Where am I headed now? What is going to be my next step? I'm in my present, creating my future. What is Spirit saying yes to? Because Spirit is always just saying yes. And so, the question is, am I creating my next adventure? Or am I creating my next disaster? It's completely up to us. But curiosity is the way to move forward. So I want to leave you with an affirmation that's showing on your screen. And if you'll read it along with me back home. With unshakable confidence, I participate fully and freely in the adventure of life. Let's say that again. With unshakable confidence, I participate fully and freely in the adventure of life. So as you go out into your week, be curious. Be curious of where Spirit is guiding you. Search out that adventure that's showing up in your life. I know there's one there for you. And if you're not quite sure how to find it, just let Spirit guide you. Thank you, and namaste. And so let's do a quick prayer. So if you will just follow along with me. I'm just knowing in this moment that there is only one life, one power, one presence. And it is, the truth of it is all those words that Kelly laid out for us this morning. The love, the peace, the joy, the light, the power, all those and more. It's the truth of this one life. And as Patricia has reminded us, we are humans. We are God-man. We are God-women. We are God itself, living itself in, as, and through each and every one of us. And so we are the same truth that God is. The love, the peace, the joy. And so what I'm knowing in this moment is I'm knowing the truth for each and every one of us. I am speaking my word as the truth for each and every one of us, that this life that is love is filling us with love. It's filling us with love to full and overflowing in all of our relationships, in all the ways that we show up in the world. There is love and more love that comes to us because we know we are the love that God is. I am recognizing that in a world that seems topsy-turvy, that we are also the wholeness and order and harmony that God is, and so we are the yeast within ourselves. That life that God is, it up-levels us, it up-rises us. We just get to rise like the dough and know the truth of Spirit as each and every one of our lives. I know that that life that God is guides us towards the adventure that is the truth of our lives. Whatever that looks like for you, however crazy you like your adventures, whether you like hurricanes or not, or river rafting or not, however that shows up for you as an adventure, I am knowing that that adventure is the truth of your life, that you are in uncharted territory, but that is okay. You are safe in that uncharted territory. And for knowing all these truths this morning, I just give thanks. And I release this prayer to the law, knowing that it's already fulfilled in the mind that God is. And I say life and God are good and very good. And together we say, and so it is. Amen and amen. And so now's the time for our conscious contribution. So I know many of you have already filled out a form or sent in a check. However you do that, I thank you for that, knowing that everything that you give to Ahiah goes to keeping us on the air here, keeping us open, the building open so that people can be here starting next week. And it goes to all the other activities that we do throughout the week. And so I want to thank you for that. If you have not donated yet, you can go to ahiah.com to find 3 different ways to donate. We can donate online, by text, or sending in a check. And it's showing up on your screen. You can choose any of those 3 different ways. And so let's go ahead and say our blessing. It's showing up for you to read along with me. We've been saying it for a few years now, so you might have it memorized. This gift I give is God in action. I send it forth with joy, confidence, and ease. I am blessed by the law of giving and receiving as I now share my gifts with life. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And so it is. Amen and amen. And so now I'd like to ask the good Tina Meeks to come on back up. She's going to sing us another song. It's going to take us back a little bit.
Okay, we're back. Now listen, we're going to do one that we used to do together. And so I invite you, if you're home, to just hum along and enjoy this preview of what it's going to be like again next week. All right? Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Remember this one? Let me love in a holy, holy way. Come on, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me care for those around the world. Let me care for those around the world. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me talk each day a little kinder. Oh, let me talk each day a little kinder. Oh, let me talk each day a little kinder. Oh, let me talk each day a little kinder. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me talk in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Together, let me love in a holy, holy, holy way. Holy, holy way.
Yes, indeed, that does take me back. And it can be you that's here watching Tina next week. Or it's not going to be Tina, it'll be Connie next week. We won't be doing congregationals because it's just not safe quite yet. But we love having you here. Just go to ahiah.com/register, and you'll get all the information on what we're doing as far as the precautions. There's a PDF. You can print it directly from the website, and we'll give you a copy when you come in too. So, we're all going to be working together as one community to come together in a way that's safe. And I just love that about Ahiah. I love the way everybody just pitches in to be the greater good. So there is that. And I also have something to tell you. I mentioned last week, but we have Power of the Word. Starts up this Tuesday only on Zoom. And you can go to ahiah.com/classes to register there and to get the link to go to Zoom. All the information that you need is right there, including what the books are. And once you register, I will be sending you the electronic version of the workbook. If you want, I will be here on Tuesday from about 10 to 3 for you to come by to pick up the workbook. If you want a printed copy, it's $20. We have a few copies of the books. If you want, we can sell you those. If you like to be tactile with your books, otherwise you can buy Kindle versions online. And basically, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about our word and the power of our word and how we take that out into the world and create from it. Because remember, Spirit just says yes. It's up to us to say the right thing. So 8 weeks, starting May 4th, going to June 22nd, from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. every Tuesday for eight Tuesdays. I would love, love, love to see you there. And so now's the time for our benediction. And so it's on your screen if you'll say it along with me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in all of my affairs. I accept it. I am it. And I share it. Just the way it appears and just the way it appears not. Thank you, life. Amen and amen. And so we're going to be doing fellowship. I'll be there. There's Mindy's doing our fellowship room right now. And I'll be there in about 10, 15 minutes. As soon as I get everything settled here, I'll see you there. Otherwise, I will see you either online or right here at Ahiah next week. I love you, Ahiah. Namaste, and thank you.